Yo! What's going on, gamers? The transparent ship of doom is here. Welcome back to Pressure. I expect a huge update, sorta-ish, kinda, coming within at least, the next, month or two. Definitely before the end of the year. And, it's literally October 30th by the time I'm recording this. So, I wanted to do a reiteration of my Lockerless guide. Mainly because I was watching my most recent one, and it was kind of full of, I don't want to say nonsense, but it was a little goofy. It's a bit more serious because I think my last one I didn't really do a good job of, presenting the information. Mainly because I just structured it like a normal video, which, it was entertaining, but not really as informative as I thought it should be. So I kind of wanted to remake that. Now, the whole concept of Lockerless is simple. Don't go into one of these lockers. The reason why is because whenever these lights flashes, or in some cases don't, an angler, which is the monster that you're probably going to run into the most, is going to run through these hallways, and your main source of defense is these lockers. The challenge lies in not going into those lockers, but still living. So, in this guide, I will show you guys, if you are new, and or just here for experience, why not, of how you can achieve that. Now, this challenge is mostly luck-based, but there are a lot of things you can do to help you out. For example, items. Items are very helpful. As you can see, the lights flickered, which means a threat is coming. I need to prepare for that threat. I'm pretty sure this is a lockerless spot over here. If not, I will die. I did not die. And that's the whole concept of Lockerless right there. Avoid the path of the anglers. The anglers are the monster you just saw. Now, normally they go into a linear path, except for one Pandemonium, where Pandemonium attacks based off line of sight, which we will learn about SS, otherwise known as safe spots, and PSS, otherwise known as Pandemonium safe spots. And also, before I discuss any further how to do Lockerless, you have to do this alone. You cannot have your friends join you. It has to be solo run in the regular ridge. Regular game mode. But yeah, basically, what you just saw earlier was me avoid the path of the angler, and that's how 99.9% of the anglers work. Just get out of the way of the next door. In this case, if there was an angler coming here, I would want to stand over here and not anywhere over here where this next door is. Now, in the case of Pandemonium, you're going to want to have a PSS. What I just described was an SS, a safe spot. Pandemonium safe spot, PSS, was that Pandemonium attacks based off line of sight and not linear path. So for him specifically, you're going to want to avoid his line of sight. AK by going, in this case, up here. If you hug this wall and crouch and go up here, Pandemonium will, more than likely, not see you. Not the biggest deal in the world, but we're not going to focus on other threats unless they're related to Lockerless. Now, one that is related to Lockerless that could trip you up is the fake doors. There are two ways you can tell to spot a fake door. One, as you just saw, it flickered like sparks coming out of it. That's how you know it's fake. But as well as, there is kind of little lines behind there, and that indicates that it's fake. Also, if you listen very closely, you can hear breathing or groaning or whatever you want to describe, like a monstrous huff as. But yeah, normally most consistent way, just walk up to it, look at it. If there's lines behind the little thing, as you can see, there's none here. It's a good door. The reason why I bring that up is because sometimes you'll be put into a spot where you have 50-50s of is this a fake door, is this a real door? You kind of just have to make a decision if there's an angler after you. Other than that, you can pick up as many items as you want. It doesn't matter what you pick up, as long as you go to the ridge without going into a locker, you are good. And because the ridge is very different from the regular game when it comes to Lockerless, but of course, I will explain that once we get there. If you're wondering why I'm kind of explaining this as I go, it's just how I usually like to do guides. I normally like to go into the game and show you what it would probably look like for you if you were to attempt this challenge, versus just explain it with some B-roll footage going on in the background. Because, some people are indeed visual learners. And if that is you, I do recommend that you pay attention to the things that I am doing along with the other gameplay. If you do know what you're doing in this game, I don't really think you're going to be looking at a Lockerless guide. But if that is you, if you do know what you're doing mostly in the game and looking for more advanced tips, you're not really going to find much of that here. I know, there's tips where you can squeeze yourself between lockers and blah, 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 but we're not going to be doing that sort of thing. Now, these room archetypes, these little pipe room things, do have a chance to spawn Pandemonium safe spots, as in here. They are always good to take advantage of. But I do find them kind of rare, or at the very least not consistent. So normally, these room archetypes, they are not my favorite for Lockerless run attempts. Also, if you're looking for other help to aid you in your Lockerless experience, if you go to settings and go to accessibility, there is a deaf mode. I recommend you turn that on. It will help you even further more with Lockerless. Just, you know, you can hear, like, for example, maybe your volume is low, like mine is. Maybe you won't hear Pinky, which is the monster that doesn't flash the lights at you like the other anglers do. Maybe you'll see the little thing around your screen before you hear her. But I do recommend at least playing, if you're going to go for Lockerless, at least 4 volume. It just makes it so you can hear better. But for the sake of this video purpose, I'm not going to be putting it at a higher volume. Yeah, other than that, there's a few angler variants. I did, you know, talk about one, Pinky. She does not flicker the lights whenever she is coming. She is just loud, which is why I recommend you play on a higher volume just for her. I think she is going to be probably the ones that trip you up the most, other than Pandemonium, just because it's not really a warning indicator of when she is coming. And I guess I could talk about Chainsmoker, just because he does have a slightly larger hitbox than the other anglers, but if you know, as long as you keep distance from him, you'll be fine. That being said, though, bunnies, hello bunnies. And just in case, chat, you do get a very rare room, like this one right here. This particular room, you do not want to open this chest because it will put you at 1 HP, and that is not good for a living. Very bad for your health, very bad. You do not want the 1 HP, it is very, very bad. Don't forget to steal your deep sea bunny for moral support during Lockerless, chat. It's very good. This video should be going up after Halloween. I am putting, well, rather, I did put together something, you know, something special. You know, I put together all my Minecraft horror mods that I have played before. So, you know, if you haven't seen that video, or hell, you just want to watch this Lockerless guide, hey, why don't you watch some of my other videos? I try and make the best content that I can. I didn't really pick up a bunch of money, but yeah, what you should be doing also during your runs is picking up money just for this guy. Almost forgot he existed, but you know, he does occasionally sell Sprint. Along with medkits, sources of light, and you can even find like rare things. It also does count as a Pandemonium safe spot. You can hide in Sebastian's little shop in case an angler is coming after you. Now I'm going to take a risk right here. I can syringe back to Sebastian's shop for a guaranteed Pandemonium safe spot, but I'm going to stay here because it's Pandemonium. I had a feeling in the back of my head. I really did. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a gamble. I'll be fine. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you keep a lookout for Pandemonium safe spots for situations like that. Now, should I have not risked it? I mean, in hindsight, yes. But those are risks you're going to have to take during Lockerless. You're more than likely not going to get it first try. So you do got to be ready for that. And now I will go to the ridge and explain to you how the ridge works. So I will be back in 2 seconds. So I'm kind of setting up to do another part of a video that I was doing, and I'm just casually running the game, and I've never seen this before. Oh, it closed. Damn it. Interesting. Well, I opened this door, and I went back to start up my recording, just because I wasn't recording, and it closed. That's annoying. Well, if anybody in chat knows what this is, please let me know. Because now our curiosity got the better of me. I've never seen this before. Alrighty, chat. It's a different day. Mainly because that's how long it took me to do this Lockerless. I can't just, you know, not stand on my own principles and what I preach. But, you know, because of that, it did take me, you know, another day. Luckily, it didn't really require that many more attempts from my part. If you got lucky, like I did, basically this run, or, you know, you just bash your head against the wall long enough, which I originally did, because it originally took me over 150 attempts, closer to 200 attempts to get Lockerless for the first time. Should that discourage you? No. But that does say that it does require a bit of RNG if you don't already know that, which I have said before. This is where the real hard part of Lockerless comes in. First of all, Pandemonium. Nope. Alright. Now, I will only give this one attempt, so if I die, I will just explain the rest and move on. But I will be trying my best to also show you how to do this part Lockerless. So as you guys should know by now, once you grab the crystal, the lights no longer flicker, which means none of the anglers have a tell of when they're coming. There are two main strategies I like to do for this part, Lockerless. One of the strategies is way more successful and time proven than the other one, but the other one is way faster, in my opinion, a lot more fun. If you don't mind doing another 100 doors Lockerless again. On your journey, you either could have bought syringes from Sebastian at the beginning of the game, or found some, or a mix of both. And if you still have some, you can do the strategy of I'm about to show you right now, which is opening this first door and hiding in this guaranteed pandemonium safe spot. There are two ways you can go about the first pandemonium safe spot. You can only get pandemonium once during the ridge, so you can theoretically just sit there up until you get pandemonium. Or option B, which is what I'm doing right now, you can go up to the next door and hope you find another pandemonium safe spot in time. That or just a regular safe spot. Now, since pandemonium can show up at any time, it is recommended you find a pandemonium safe spot first. Now, I've chosen the risk to try and find another pandemonium safe spot. Ideally, you don't want to take that risk. But a regular safe spot over here will also do, because I know another regular angler is coming. And I did win the 50-50 of finding the wrong door. Now, chat. What I'm doing is probably the riskier strategy, which I was telling you about, but it's a lot faster and a lot more fun. It is basically you're just going through the ridge and just praying you don't get pandemonium, syringing, you know, finding safe spots, regular safe spots, and just, you know, going about the ridge as normally as you can. With that being said, this strategy is extremely risky for reasons I probably do not need to tell you. That being said, no angler has come in a while, so I'm going to go to the next door and give up that safe spot because I am impatient.
Hi.
And just lo and behold, I just did that Lockerless. That was really close. But yep, also is a good time to mention now that if you smash in Painter, you will not get your badge, and instead Sebastian will kill you. But if you made it to this point, right here and right now, you got the Lockerless badge. You did not see me get it because I've already done it Lockerless. But if you've done everything correctly and not go into the locker, this is where your Lockerless run ends. Of course, now you just gotta survive, but you should have got your badge by now. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed your no BS guide this time around, and of course leave any comments if I need to clear anything up for y'all, or just, you know, what you liked about the video. That being said, I do anticipate an update to this game very soon, so who knows, I might need to remake this one more time. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.